Thank you all for joining us for the last session of F8. I am extremely excited to introduce Kate Hamill. Some of her call her Katie. I'm excited to introduce Kate Hamill, who's going to go over our best practices for advertising your game on Facebook. Without further ado, Kate.
Thank you, Noah. Nobody calls me Katie but Noah. Thank you guys for coming. I know it's the end of a jam-packed 2 days. Really appreciate your being here and excited to chat with you. So I'm on the global gaming team at Facebook, where I have the opportunity to work with a number of the biggest developers in the space, including Supercell and Zynga. They run massive global user acquisition campaigns, and it's an absolute blast to get to partner with them on a daily basis. That said, some of my best days at Facebook have been spent with smaller developers, those who were just getting ready to launch their first app and test their first paid marketing campaigns. I know that user acquisition can seem complicated and intimidating, and my goal today is that no matter what stage your business is at, whether you're launching your first app this year or your 5th TV campaign for your hit title, that you come away confident that Facebook offers you both the partnership and the media solutions to achieve your objectives. So for the purpose of this talk, I'm going to try to tell you about how you should leverage the tools that everybody on the product side has been describing over the past 2 days. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to ask you to indulge me in the fantasy that I take all of the learnings I've accumulated in my years in gaming at Facebook to launch my own game studio, and that I turn it into a massive business and time travel back from the future to tell you how I did it. So let me tell you what March 2016 looks like in this fantasy land. The game that I left Facebook a year ago to develop is a worldwide phenomenon. The reviews are great, everybody's talking about it, and when you get on a plane, whether you're in Rio or Tokyo or New York or Copenhagen, it seems like every other person is playing it. We're having a blast, and we're making money. The game is in the top 25 grossing in over 60 countries. I'm excited to tell you about how we partnered with Facebook to do it, but first, let me tell you about the game. Introducing Clown Drown. Clown Drown, thank you for that whistle. Clown Drown is a match-3 game in which players match clown parts and accessories, so little red creepy clown noses and crown tricycles, in order to raise the water levels and drown clowns. As players progress through the game, they journey to circuses all over the world, drowning clowns of all colors, shapes, and sizes. They eradicate smiling evil the whole world over as they go. While a developer's app absolutely has to work on its own if they're going to be successful, a well-planned and well-executed user acquisition strategy can take a great app and turn it into a great business. Discovery is more challenging than ever. And in order to rise above the noise in the overcrowded app stores, developers need to invest in mobile marketing. More than 80% of the top apps in both the iOS and Android top grossing charts use Facebook mobile app ads to grow their business. Facebook app ads have driven 1 billion app installs in the past couple of years. Facebook's scale is unprecedented. 1.4 billion people come to our platform every month. And our engagement is unparalleled. 1 in 5 minutes spent on mobile devices is spent within the Facebook application. And we offer the kind of targeting that you just can't find anywhere else. If there's one thing that I want you to take away today, it's that Facebook is the only platform that offers you both the scale and the quality to grow a truly global mobile business today. In my opinion, there are 5 keys to successful mobile app advertising on Facebook: people, targeting, creative, bidding, and measurement. Like any other part of your business, marketing requires great people. All too often, I'll speak with a developer who will say to me, I'm not getting the kinds of performance results I was hoping to from my Facebook advertising. I'll ask them how they're managing their advertising, and they'll tell me that they've outsourced it to an agency whom they have a biweekly phone call with. You wouldn't handle any other part of your business this way, and there's no reason why you should handle your marketing this way. Marketing requires great people. You need to own your brand and own the strategy. It also requires the right partners. Once you have the right people and the right partners in place, you can focus on the other keys to success. Targeting. In addition to Facebook's massive reach and engagement, Facebook's targeting capabilities are better than anybody else's out there. Our platform is predicated on the idea of authentic identity. People come and share all types of information about themselves: how old they are, the languages they speak, where they live, games they play, movies and TV shows they watch, music they listen to. All of this adds up to a very powerful set of data that marketers can reuse to reach all the people who matter to them, and with the kind of accuracy that leads to efficiency with your media. When marketing Clown Drown, we relied on 5 main targeting buckets. The first, demographic. We set up broad campaigns targeting people simply by age, gender, and country. The goal was to cast as wide a net as possible and make sure that we were reaching everybody out there. We also used mobile targeting. So we target by device and by operating system, and to figure out where we can find profitability. If you have a particularly big app, you can also take advantage of Facebook's Wi-Fi targeting. We use gamer-specific targeting. Facebook has a ton of data on gamers, the games they play, and the interfaces they use to play them. We found a lot of success with the puzzle gamers category, but we also tested action gamers and strategy gamers to see if we could find value there. Fourth is interest targeting. Facebook offers thousands of keywords that marketers can use in order to reach people who matter to them. We went after people who played games that are in the puzzle category as well as match 3. And we wanted to go after people with dark senses of humor, because Drowning Clowns is kind of a dark thing. So we went after fans of Sarah Silverman and Louie and South Park. Lastly, we wanted to make sure to reach all the clown enthusiasts out there. So we used keywords relating to clowns and circuses. The fourth targeting capability, and the one that I want you to pay particular attention to, is audiences. Facebook's custom and lookalike audiences products are the single most valuable targeting strategy that any marketer can use today. Facebook enables you to take the data that you have on your most valuable players and to create custom targeting clusters that you can use. You can upload IDFAs and Android IDs and Facebook IDs and email addresses and telephone numbers, or you can automate the creation of custom audiences via app events, which is a product I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. Once you have the data, you need to segment it by engagement. I recommend segmenting by top payers, all payers, most frequent payers, as well as most engaged players. You want to also segment that data by platform and by country. From there, you've created a custom audience. Using that custom audience, you can create lookalike audiences. Facebook looks at thousands of inputs with its predictive modeling to create lookalike audiences of people whom we've identified are most similar to your most valuable players. You can create different percentage audiences, which will help you reach different percentages of a country's population. If there's one thing that I want you to take away from everything that I've said about Facebook's targeting capabilities, it's that lookalike audiences needs to be the cornerstone of your targeting strategy on Facebook. It is the most valuable way to grow your mobile business. In addition to making sure that you're reaching all the people who matter to you, you need to make sure to reach them with creative that matters to them. And I want to take a minute to explain how Facebook's ads auction works. When somebody refreshes his or her Facebook newsfeed, there's a complex algorithm that determines what that person will see in that moment. More often than not, she'll see organic content from a friend or a page she follows. but sometimes she'll see an ad. And when she sees an ad, there's a very complex algorithm that determines which ad of all of the advertisers who are competing for that space will be shown in that moment. There's a lot of inputs that go into the algorithm, but one of the most important ones, and one that you can control, is what we call the relevance score. In order to get volume in Facebook's ads auction, people need to engage with your content. They need to see the ad, they need to convert and download the app, or at least click on it, or like it, or comment on it, but they need to engage with it in some way. It needs to be relevant to them. Facebook is the most engaging mobile media platform on the planet. There's a reason why people check their Facebook news feeds 14 times a day on average. It's to get updates from friends and family and brands they love, and to discover great new content like apps. It is critical that you invest in producing creative that's going to feel personal and relevant to people. It's not enough to just take the assets that you're running on other networks and slap them into your Facebook advertising. You need to be thoughtful and really think about what people are going to respond to on Facebook. Most of you have probably seen Facebook's mobile app ad. You can use either video or static banner creative in the ad. And as I said, it's really important to think about the types of messages that people are going to respond to. For example, this copy would be perfect for me, given that I live in California, I often cycle on the weekends, and I would jump at the opportunity to drown clowns on my mobile device. When we were brainstorming creative concepts for our advertising on Facebook for Clown Drown, we took a look at some other top-performing ads from other competitors in the space. On the left, you'll see an ad from the New York City-based developer BetaWorks for their hit game 2 Dots. One of the things we talk about a lot at Facebook when we're talking about ad creative is real people, real things. The Facebook newsfeed is filled with photos and videos from people's real lives. And here you can see a real-life photograph of somebody playing the game 2 Dots on his smartphone in a New York City subway station. It's easy to imagine why this ad would perform well, particularly in New York. And it gives potential new players a great sense of what that in-game experience feels like. In the middle, you can see an ad from UK-based King.com for their hit game Candy Crush Saga. Developers have found that these victory point scoring moments perform really well for them in ads. And again, you can see that the developer is giving potential new players a sense of what that in-game experience feels like, with an iPad and a finger swiping to crush the candy. All the way to the right, you'll see an ad from the LA-based developer SGN for Cookie Jam. SGN is taking advantage of Facebook's video capability. Video has become a huge part of Facebook's platform in the last year. Mark mentioned at our keynote yesterday that more than 3 billion videos are consumed every day on Facebook. And marketers are taking notice, including mobile marketers. Video mobile app ads, the amount that video mobile app ads get served has gone up 3x in the past 4 months. It's a phenomenal way to reach new players. Developers are seeing significantly higher conversion rates and monetization rates. And you don't need to have tons of money and invest in really expensive video creative in order to take advantage. You can see here that SGN has used a really small piece of animation and is just looping it. But what it's doing is when somebody sees it in the newsfeed and it's auto-playing in his newsfeed, it's catching his eye and he's installing the game. In addition to making sure that you're reaching the people who matter to you with creative that's going to matter to them, it's important to make sure that you're bidding based on who you're targeting. There's different ways to buy mobile app ads on Facebook. You can bid CPM and pay per impression. You can bid CPA and pay per install. You can bid CPC and pay per click. But the important thing to think about and to remember is that you want to bid your true value based on who you're targeting. For example, when marketing Clown Drown, we were advertising the game to millions of people across the world on lots of different devices who have all types of economic backgrounds. we would bid significantly higher for somebody who's in a 1% lookalike audience based on top payers in a tier 1 country running on an iPhone 6 than somebody who's in a broad campaign in a tier 3 country running on an older version of Android. Both of those potential new players are worth something to us, but they're worth different values, and you need to bid accordingly if you want to run a profitable business. Measurement is the final key to successful app advertising on Facebook. It's important that you understand both your LTVs and your return on investment by marketing channel, by gender, by country, by device, by operating system, all the way down to the ad level. That way you can scale what's working for you, and where you're not seeing profitability, you can improve the strategy. There's a bunch of different ways to measure your Facebook mobile app ads. You can work with one of our measurement partners who can measure your advertising both on Facebook and across mobile. Or you can take advantage of some of the awesome tools that Facebook has built for developers and which are available for free. You've probably heard a lot over the past 2 days about Facebook analytics for apps. I want to take a minute to talk about one of the primary products of Facebook analytics and one that's necessary in order to access Facebook analytics, which is called app events. With just a small bit of code integrated into your app, Facebook App Events records and measures 14 predefined events, including install, open, tutorial complete, level complete, in-app purchase. It also enables you to understand the return on investment coming from your mobile app ads. Facebook App Events also enables you to understand the makeup of people who are taking actions within your app. This can be really powerful insights both for product development and as you're thinking through your marketing strategy, who you want to target and with what types of creative. Lastly, and really important, App Events automates the creation of custom audiences. As I said previously, lookalike audiences needs to be the foundation of any mobile marketer's targeting strategy on Facebook. But creating lookalike audiences can be time-consuming and cumbersome. You need to get all the data from your business intelligence team. You need to segment the data. You need to upload it to Facebook. You need to create all these lookalike audiences based on it. It's important, but it can be time-consuming. App Events automates the creation of these and keeps refreshing them so that they're always up to date and you never need to do a re-upload. Every mobile marketer out there should have App Events in their app. So, as I said, these are the keys to success for mobile app advertising on Facebook. Once you have your measurement in place and you understand how to think about bidding in your user acquisition, you should be pretty much good to go on those 2 fronts. But your people, targeting, and creative strategies are going to need to evolve as you grow your business. So that's the framework I'm going to use as I talk you through the fake journey of Clown Drown. So leading up to our global launch, we had seen even better retention and LTVs for the game in the beta than we were hoping for. We'd localized the game into 6 languages, and we were planning to release it in 10 Tier 1 countries on both iOS and Android simultaneously. The marketing goal at this stage was to maximize the number of ROI-positive installs in each country per day. On the people front, we hired a UA manager. We were lucky to get somebody who had done mobile UA for another game studio, but this isn't necessary. In fact, anybody who has any kind of direct response marketing experience, or even somebody who's really comfortable working with data and is a self-starter, could fill this role and do it really well. We also signed a deal with a Facebook marketing partner. The Facebook Marketing Partners Program is a network of agencies which each specializes in a different facet of Facebook advertising. We signed on with one who had experience running global mobile UA campaigns for other developers. And the way that we segmented out the responsibilities were we had the UA manager focus on the 4 English-speaking Tier 1 countries, and the Facebook marketing partner focus on the 6 non-English-speaking countries. They took care of localizing all of the ad creative and copy, which was a big time saver for us. Lastly, we hired an advertising analyst. This person's job was to look at LTVs and return on investment by channel and by geo and by gender and by device and all of the other things I've mentioned previously, and to help us scale up where we were seeing success and improve strategies where we weren't. On the targeting side, we launched with broad campaigns and with interest targeting. During the beta, when we were marketing the game in Australia and New Zealand, we got in a sense of the types of keywords that perform best for us, so those were the ones we used at launch. Since we had app events integrated into the game from the get-go, we started accumulating data for custom audiences, and were able to launch lookalike audience campaigns within 2 weeks. By the end of 3 months, we had scaled our investment in lookalikes to 30% of our spend. And on the creative side, we were testing 5 new creative concepts per week. When a creative worked, we would iterate on it and test new colors and new characters. And when it didn't work, we would pull it out of rotation quickly. It's also around now that we partnered with an external video production firm to produce a video to run in our mobile app ads. And as expected, the results were phenomenal. As it turns out, real developers in the real world are also seeing great results from video mobile app ads on Facebook. In March 2015, Facebook released a case study with the local San Francisco-based developer TinyCo behind the hit game Family Guy: The Quest for Stuff. TinyCo started using video in their mobile app ads and has seen phenomenal results. 66% higher day 3 yield over their static mobile app ads on Facebook. 64% higher conversion rates in their advertising, and 46% higher average revenue per purchasing user. But you don't need to have really highly produced video and the kind of IP that TinyCo has to work with in order to have success with video mobile app ads. As SGN showed, even a small hack on a GIF can be exactly what you need to keep your costs down and unlock volume in the Facebook ads auction. So, 6 months after our launch, we were living the dream. 1 month after launch, we passed a milestone of 1 million DAUs, and at this point, we were up to 5 million DAUs. The game was also in the top 25 grossing in more than 30 countries. We were focused on expanding quickly, localizing the game into new countries, expanding our marketing into new countries, hiring, and pouring our revenues back into our marketing because we'd seen what an impact user acquisition had on our company's growth. Technology can be a very powerful tool if your objectives are scale and efficiency. By integrating with Facebook's APIs, we were able to automate a lot of the processes that were taking up time and energy for our team. In fact, Facebook has an entire team called the Solutions Engineering team, whose sole purpose is to work with marketers to build great ad tech that will save them time and help them gain efficiency in the system. We were able to work with David Whitney, who is actually a real person on Facebook's Solutions Engineering team. David can much more eloquently describe the work that our teams did together, so he was willing to do a video to share with us what it was. Except that I guess it didn't show.
I was excited. I'd been drowning clowns on the bus, the train, and on the toilet for weeks. After meeting with their marketing team and some of their engineers,
he can talk and his
we were
mouth
able
doesn't
to identify
move.
some areas where their ad buying teams were spending too much time stumbling over user interfaces and trying to follow developers' best practices. I was excited. Android. I'd been drowning clowns on the bus, the train, and on the toilet for weeks. After meeting with their marketing team and some of their engineers, we were able to identify some areas where their ad buying teams were spending too much time stumbling over user interfaces and trying to follow Facebook's best practices across Android and iOS, across more than 50 countries. It's a problem we hear about every day, and luckily we have some great solutions available. First, using app events and the Custom Audiences API, we were able to automate their entire audience creation pipeline. This gives them immediate access to custom audiences and lookalikes in each country and on each platform. and they update automatically. Next, we started looking at how we can automate their entire ad creation process. By using the Ads API SDKs, the ClownDrown team was able to connect their back-end business intelligence data directly to their ad data, so they can bid their true value across every demographic, platform, and country. The technology knows to bid $1.50 to acquire a middle-aged user running on an old version of Android in Argentina, and $12.50 for a 30-year-old woman on a newer iPad in Australia. ClownDrown is winning at the auction for people that they care about the most. And when their ads run into delivery challenges, they automatically refresh their creatives. Now, ClownDrown's ad buyers have some free time in their hands to invest in developing those great in-game experiences and ad creatives that have gotten them to the top of the charts.
Okay. So on the people side, at this stage, we hired an advertising engineer who did the great work that David just described. We also hired an ad creative designer. We had found firsthand at this point the great impact that creatives could have on our performance on Facebook advertising, both in terms of keeping our costs down and helping unlock volume in the auction. So we thought that this more than justified the salary of a full-time employee. We also hired a community manager whose job is to update the Facebook pages and our other social networks, as well as our forums, and keep our players engaged. On the targeting side, we were advertising in over 75 countries. We were truly a global business. And we had scaled our investment in lookalikes to 40% of our spend. It was right around now that we started to think about retargeting as well. And on the creative side, we were continuing to test 5 new creative concepts per week. That was the benchmark we held ourselves to. And we started to think a lot about the types of messaging we wanted to use when re-engaging players. So in addition to focusing on scaling the business as efficiently as possible, we also started to think a lot about engagement. Now that we had 5 million DAUs and many more million installs than that, we wanted to make sure to keep our most valuable players in the game. Retaining and re-engaging players can cost 1/3 what acquiring new players costs. So it was around now that we started investing in Facebook's mobile app engagement ads. The games team was putting out new content and running in-game events, and we used Facebook's engagement ads to target both lapsed payers and lapsed players. We used 3 main targeting buckets. We targeted people who had paid in the game but not played in 28 days, people who had paid in the game but not played in 7 days, and then people who had played the game but not in 28 days. We measured via Facebook's lift measurement tool. Facebook uses a holdout group and is able to easily show what the return on investment of the campaigns was. Back in the real world, real developers are also seeing a ton of success with Facebook mobile app engagement ads. In March 2015, Facebook released a case study with Zynga. In November of 2014, Zynga ran their first in-game event for their hit game, Farmville 2: Country Escape. And they came to Zynga's head of performance marketing, John Dionisio, who's in the front row here, and said, help us promote this. We want to make sure everybody knows about this. So Zynga localized the ad creative into 13 languages and promoted the sale in 25 countries using Facebook's mobile app engagement ads. And the results were phenomenal. Over 5x return on ad spend. And they reached over 1 million players in 24 hours. And drove a couple thousand reinstalls on new devices to boot. As your business grows, you're going to want to think a lot about how to keep people in the game and how to keep them engaged. And Facebook's engagement ads offer the perfect way to do this. A year after launching ClownDrown, we'd worked hard to market the game, to update the game, and to retain our players, and we were up to 10 million DAUs. And top 25 grossing in over 60 countries. Next up on our calendar is a new marketing initiative. Like many of the games developers who've come before us, we're going to be bringing ClownDrown to television. And as we have every step of the way, as we've grown our business, we're going to partner with Facebook on this initiative. TV offers a phenomenal way to reach people out there. But the TV media landscape is fragmented. And if you want to make sure that everybody sees the awesome TV creative that you're producing for TV, you need to partner with a platform like Facebook that can offer the scale to help you reach all the people who matter to you with that creative. So we're going to be working with Facebook to amplify our TV campaign and achieve incremental reach in 2 ways. We're going to take the video that we're producing for television, and we're going to use it in our video mobile app ads, which have produced terrific performance results so far. We're also going to cast an even wider net and run video ads on Facebook. Video ads help developers reach a different segment of the audience than mobile app ads will. And Facebook's video product now enables marketers to retarget people who engage with their video. So when somebody watches our video, we're going to hit them up later with a mobile app ad, capture that engagement from the video ad, and drive the download. I realize I didn't give you a ton of choice in terms of indulging me in this fantasy, in terms of what it would be like to put myself in your shoes and grow a global, massive mobile business. But to recap, I just want to go over the 5 keys to successful app advertising on Facebook. People. You need to hire the right people and work with the right partners. You cannot outsource your brand. You need to own the strategy and own it internally. Targeting. Lookalikes needs to be the cornerstone of any mobile marketer's targeting strategy on Facebook. Creative. You need to invest in creating creative that is going to resonate with people on Facebook and feel both relevant and personal and organic to Facebook's platform. Bidding. Bid your true value based on all the people you're targeting. Test lots of things, but make sure that you're bidding accordingly. And measurement. You need to measure everything, by channel, by country, by device, by operating system, all the way down to the ad creative. Scale what works, and when you're not seeing profitability, improve the strategy. Thank you so much. And if anybody's actually interested in developing Clown Drown, come and talk to me, because maybe we could make this thing a reality. Thanks. And I think I'm supposed to mention that there is an F8 closing video coming on now, although based on our technical difficulties, I'm not sure.
When you have a great idea and you're like, you know what, that'd make a great app, and then knowing I could make that app, it just unlocks like a whole world of possibilities.
Sharing of good food can really bring everyone around the world together. My mom's recipes are all from word of mouth. Traditional recipes could have been lost forever if not for Kitchen Bowl.
The final diagnosis was that I had MS. I said, there's a chance that I'm not going to be able to be physical later in life. So I need to be physical now, as physical as I can.
Distance, 10 miles.
It's so surreal when you post something on SoundCloud like 2 years ago, and now I'm here. It's just amazing. When you make a track and then I see that people are connecting to it, that's the best. That's the best.
What I set off to do may actually be visualized with the help of Kitchen Bowl and Facebook.
The developers of VidCode are the reason why I'm interested in code now and basically changed my life.